Mahliyo, a hopeful 23-year-old, dreamed of a simple, loving family life in her small Uzbek village. She grew up surrounded by the gentle hills and golden fields, where every sunrise brought new hope. Her heart was full of quiet wishes for happiness, belonging, and a future built on love and trust. She married Jamshid, a kind and hard-working man from a neighboring village, and moved into his family's modest home. The wedding was a joyful celebration, filled with laughter, music, and the blessings of both families. Life was peaceful, filled with daily routines and the warmth of her in-laws. Each day brought familiar tasks, preparing meals, tending the garden, and sharing stories around the dinner table. Her mother-in-law treated her kindly, teaching her the ways of the household. Together they cooked traditional dishes, and Mahliyo learned the secrets of family recipes passed down through generations. Her father-in-law, Abdukarim, was respected by all. He offered gentle advice and shared stories of the past, making Mahliyo feel truly welcome in her new home. When Jamshid left for Russia to work, Mahliyo promised to care for his parents. Though she missed him deeply, she understood his sacrifice was for their future. She found comfort in the rhythm of village life, cooking, gardening, and writing heartfelt letters to her husband. Each letter was filled with love, hope, and stories of her days. The respect and kindness in her new home made her feel safe. Surrounded by caring family, Mahliyo felt a sense of belonging she had always wished for. She believed she was truly blessed, her heart at ease as she waited for Jamshid's return. Each evening, she would sit by the window, dreaming of the day they would be reunited. Her dreams seemed within reach, and she looked forward to a happy future. She imagined a life filled with laughter, children, and the simple joys of village life. But beneath the surface, life was about to change. Unseen challenges were quietly gathering, threatening the peace she had come to cherish. Mahliyo's peaceful days were numbered, the winds of fate were shifting, and soon her strength and hope would be tested in ways she could never have imagined. The calm of Mahliyo's life shattered when Abdukarim's behavior changed. He began visiting her room at night, his concern turning unsettling. At first, Mahliyo tried to dismiss her discomfort, respecting him as an elder. But his words and glances grew too personal, filling her with dread. The home that once felt safe became a place of fear. She questioned herself, torn between cultural respect and her growing anxiety. Each night she prayed he wouldn't come, but the visits continued. Her trust in Abdukarim was destroyed, replaced by terror. She felt trapped, her dreams clouded by a secret she couldn't share. Mahliyo's sanctuary had become a prison. She was utterly alone. Desperate, Mahliyo confided in Jamshid, calling him in Russia. Through tears, she revealed Abdukarim's late-night visits and her fear. But Jamshid refused to believe her, insisting his father was honorable. He accused her of imagining things, telling her not to cause trouble. Mahliyo's pain was dismissed, her voice silenced by tradition and shame. Speaking out would bring disgrace, so she buried her suffering. Her days became an act, serving her in-laws, hiding her anguish. Inside, she was breaking, her spirit fading. The village revered Abdukarim, while Mahliyo suffered in silence. Her hope for happiness seemed lost. The truth weighed heavily on her heart. She was forced to hide her pain. Her world grew darker each day. One quiet afternoon, Mahliyo made her way to the village well, as she did most days. But this time, as she drew water, she overheard a group of women whispering urgently about Abdukarim's past. Their words sent a chill down her spine. She learned, with growing horror, that she wasn't his only victim. Other women in the village had suffered at his hands too, their pain hidden behind closed doors and silent glances. This revelation, though painful, sparked a new courage in her heart. For the first time, Mahliyo felt a flicker of hope. She was not alone in her suffering. She realized she wasn't imagining things, nor was she isolated in her fear. The knowledge that others shared her experience gave her strength she never knew she had. Determined to break the cycle of abuse, Mahliyo made a decision that would change her life forever. She would escape, no matter the risk. That night, with her heart pounding, she quietly packed a small bag, careful not to wake anyone. Under the cover of darkness, she slipped away from the only home she had known, heading toward her brother's house in a nearby village. Her brother, surprised and deeply concerned, welcomed her with open arms. He listened to her story, offering comfort and unwavering support. With his help, Mahliyo found the courage to file a legal complaint and speak out publicly, determined to seek justice not just for herself, but for all the women who had suffered in silence. She faced threats, harsh words and accusations from some in the community, but she refused to back down or be silenced. Her story spread quickly, challenging the silence and fear that had gripped her community for so long. Mahliyo's spirit, once broken by years of pain, became unbreakable. She stood tall, her confidence shining for all to see. She stood firm, demanding justice and inspiring others to find their own voices. Her escape became a symbol of hope and courage for many. As the sun rose over the village, a new chapter had begun, not just for Mahliyo, but for everyone who had been afraid to speak. News of Mahliyo's actions reached Jamshid in Russia, shattering the fragile sense of distance he'd built around himself. The words in the letter and the urgency in the phone call left him restless, unable to focus on work or daily life. He returned home, torn between loyalty to his family and disbelief at what he'd heard. The journey back was filled with doubt and fear as he wondered what awaited him. At first, Jamshid defended his father, refusing to believe the worst. But the truth unraveled painfully when his mother, with tears in her eyes, confessed she'd known about Abdukarim's behavior for years, carrying the burden in silence. Jamshid was devastated, realizing he'd failed Mahliyo by not seeing the truth sooner. Guilt and regret overwhelmed him as he struggled to process the betrayal within his own family. He went to her, begging forgiveness and promising to stand by her from now on. He admitted his mistakes and vowed to never let her face pain alone again. Together, they decided to leave the village and start anew, determined to escape the shadows of the past and the whispers of neighbors. Their reunion was emotional, filled with tears and relief, but it marked the beginning of healing and a new chapter in their lives. They chose to build a life based on trust and respect, far from the shadows of the past, and to support each other through whatever challenges lay ahead. Jamshid finally saw the truth, and with it, a sense of purpose to protect his family and never repeat old mistakes. He and Mahliyo moved forward together, united by forgiveness and hope for a brighter future. Their journey toward healing had begun, and with every step they grew stronger as a couple. They would never look back, choosing instead to walk forward, hand in hand, into a future they would build together. In a new city, Mahliyo and Jamshid rebuilt their lives. Healing was slow, but Mahliyo found strength in therapy and Jamshid's support. She realized her story could help others. No longer just a survivor, she became a voice for women silenced by fear and tradition. Mahliyo started a support group for abuse survivors, offering empathy and hope. The group grew, becoming a community of strength. She advocated for women's rights, working with organizations and sharing her story publicly. Mahliyo transformed her pain into power, guiding others toward justice. She became a leader, inspiring change. Her courage challenged deep-rooted silence. Mahliyo's journey from victim to advocate was remarkable. She gave others hope. Her voice could not be silenced. Years later, Mahliyo's scars remain, but they no longer define her. She and Jamshid have built a loving, peaceful home. Her support group has grown into a respected organization, helping countless women. Mahliyo is now a mentor and advocate, empowering others to find their voices. Her courage has sparked a movement, challenging traditions of silence and shame. She is celebrated as a leader and a beacon of hope. Her story proves that even in darkness, courage can light the way. Mahliyo's name is now spoken with admiration. She has turned pain into purpose. Mahliyo's enduring light guides others toward freedom.